Hello, it is I, Stephanie Nelson Davis, coming to you from my bedroom. This, ow, orange thing biting me right now, that's my boyfriend DJ. He's kind of an asshole, but he's also my cuddle buddy. But, yeah, I don't want you to see too much of my messy bedroom because I'm a mess. So, today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, well, a little history, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about the 1950s and what are called the McCarthy years. Now, I don't know why, but it seems like they do not teach about the McCarthy era in schools. I think it is one of the, it was one of the more important historical things that happened, but also it was a great big red flag that went ignored and probably led directly to, Trump not addressing, not teaching. In my mind, some of it has to do with the fact that children are not taught about the McCarthy era. Most people don't even, unless they lived through it, you know. And the McCarthy era was also called the Red Scare. And this is after World War II, and we're in the depths of the Cold War, and everybody is afraid of Russian spies in the Soviet Union, and they had these hearings, and on the the anti-American, I don't remember what the bullshit thing they called it, but even being named could and usually did ruin your life. They especially went after Hollywood. They ruined many promising careers of musicians, actors, directors, things like that. But normal people, everyday people were not. They went after intellectuals. They went after teachers. They went after, and you were called in front of one of these things, and you are accused of being a Russian spy, and it doesn't matter. You're there, therefore you're guilty, was the attitude, and they wanted you to name names. They wanted you to give up names of other people so they could go harass them too. And those who did not and would not give up names, I think it's a huge part of history that's not taught because it was horrid. Almost as horrid as the concentration camps in the 1940s that we put the Japanese Americans, including Uncle George Takei, which is, and again, a lot of people don't know that, it's a black mark on our history. But here we are. It's going on again. The McCarthy years, this is like it insofar as that there has been a couple of different stories of people who make remarks different remarks about political people have police or FBI come to their door. What the fuck? I mean, and they're talking about going door to door in Minnesota, going door to door, knocking door to door. I thought you were after the killers and the rapists, and you want to fucking go door to door? Even McCarthyism didn't go that far, but Hitler did. And yeah, people are tired of, the saying that they're Nazis, but the parallels are just so fucking blindingly obvious that you just can't. And what's happening in Minnesota, what they're doing to Minnesota is, I mean, again, Minneapolis has 600 policemen. They sent 3,000 goons. Okay? I'm not really sure how many. The St. Paul Police probably has somewhere around 400 cops. Yes, St. Paul is the capital, but it is the smaller of the two cities. But the only thing that separates the cities is the Mississippi River. And most people, in all the reporting, they just been saying Minneapolis. This stuff is happening in St. Paul as well. The most people don't know when. I mean, you go over a bridge, you're in the other city. That's why they're called the Twin Cities. So, because they called the east side of St. Paul. I mean, at first they were saying Minneapolis. It's the east side of St. Paul, man. That's the Irish part of town. At least it was when I was growing up. And the poor old dude who they dragged out in his fucking underwear has probably been living there since the 1980s. When we got a big influx of Laotian people and from that part of the world, and they're wonderful people. But I mean, even at our cruelest, with the McCarthy, with the concentration camp during World War II, what they're doing in Minnesota is so much worse. I mean, they are acting like the Gestapo. They're running around, or Mussolini's ganging up toughs. Actually closer to Mussolini, because Mussolini too was a sexual predator. I bet you didn't know that. But apparently, each woman only had to endure 15 minutes, so, there's that. But, El Duce, my ass. But Mr. Tiny Hand's little mushroom penis, he hates Minnesota because Tim Walz, but he's whining that he wants Renee Good's father to still like him. You loosed goons into our streets and they killed his daughter. Do you think he still likes you? Especially since you keep saying his daughter was a terrorist? I think I think that one's gone. Dumbass. God. and he was in Davos making an ass out of himself in front of the rest of the world yet again. And but if you're not from Minnesota, you don't understand the cold like we do. And right now it's fucking cold. So you got what the temperature is, but then you got the wind chill on top of it, and making for feel like temperatures of, anywhere from 20 below to 50 below. Um, most, Minnesotans, we know, dress in layers. Um, a lot of us are used to it. Well, hell, there's a whole bunch of them that go every year, the polar bears, and go swim in frickin' Lake Superior when it's frozen. It's crazy. But we're used to it. Um, we know how to maneuver in it. We know how to get around in it, and we know how to dress for it. So once again, if you're from outside of Minnesota and you're planning on joining, please, for God's sakes, dress. Make sure you're dressed correctly, or you'll freeze. I, you know, I'm hoping though that the ice dudes. I hope their peckers fucking freeze off. Just snap off like snapping a Slim Jim. I mean, is that a threat? I mean, that's a threat from Mother Nature. I can't make it happen. Um, I'm a good witch. I don't, so, but, you gotta wonder in their little costumes if they're actually dressed for this weather. I doubt it. And then you got fucking Dan Bongino walking around in his little SS costume, looking, like Lord Farquaad. I shit you not. That dude, he's Lord Farquaad. He's got little man syndrome up the wazoo. He's nothing but a joke. And he's walking around. All he needs is a fucking swagger stick. I mean, for God's sakes, what a pathetic little bastard. I mean, Jesus Christ. Uh, Man, my girlfriend was saying she's 4 foot 10 and a half, and I bet you she could take him. I mean, she'd whoop his ass. Hell. But I mean, what a joke. What a fucking joke. I mean, and the thing is that little man and most other people don't understand Minnesota. Minnesota's a whole different kettle of fish, a whole different cat, however you want to put it. Minnesotans, um, yeah, there can be bigotry there. Hey, get out of there, Ziggy. My cat, Ziggy Stardust. Uh, but nobody messes with the state without, Minnesota comes together. Minnesota is places where you still know your neighbors, and families that have been in areas for decades, for generations. But we're also very proud, and I've said it before. I mean, we've got this ginormous cat. Ziggy, say hello. He is a Flame Point Siamese. His name is Ziggy Stardust. He was born same week David Bowie died. So I named him after my favorite album. Ain't he pretty? Ain't he huge? I grew him big. So a little levity into our conversation here. But what the rest of because the rest of the world, and then the states too, people who don't know Minnesota, they judged us on what happened after the murder of George Floyd. What you have to understand, and it's not a conspiracy theory, you can look up the stats and you can look all this stuff up yourself. It is very true that most of the people picked up for looting and things like that were not Minnesotans. They were not from the Twin Cities area. They were people that, that came specifically to loot and use the distraction of the protests and the outrage. And we learned many lessons from that as Minnesotans, as you can see from the protests that have been going on nonstop. And they won't stop. And they won't stop resisting. And Trump, you can't break us. I'm sorry, but it uh, it is futile. Resistance to, yeah. You may think it's, but no. Minnesota, uh, we don't break. And and we band together. And even the people that may have voted for you, I bet you there's a whole bunch of those motherfuckers out there protesting as well, because the simple fact is we do have good schools, despite the fact we produced both Pete Hogshead and the My Pillow guy. The My Pillow guy's a crack addict, so, Pete Hegseth, where he's from, there's a whole bunch of fucking idiots. So, I mean, I think it's Bloomington Park, but sorry, Bloomington Park. But, anyways, Minnesota is not, like I said before, it's not New York, it's not Los Angeles, it's not Chicago, it is not a huge city. It's, even the two of them together, it is not a huge city. Minnesota is a mostly rural state. But the population concentration is in and around the Twin Cities. And all of those people from all of those suburbs and everybody else are mobilizing. And there's nothing that Trump can do to make them stop, because they won't. Not until they won. And every other state take notice, every other city, every other state, because if he succeeds in Minnesota, he's going to take it on the road. He might take it on the road anyways. But this is what he wants. This is what he wants. I mean, he wants to be able to fuck with the midterms. He wants to, create chaos so that the midterms can't go forward, because he's going to lose all of his power then, and he knows it. And until the end, he's still trying to distract from the fucking Epstein's files. So we still want to see those pedo protection program over there, but man, get the fuck out of Minnesota. Get the fuck out of Minnesota. Oh, I want to be there so bad. As I said before, I have so many, so much family there, but that family is, for their sake, I can't, because they would be terrified. And I can't, my auntie has a heart condition, and I can't do that to her. So, Texas protests it is. But and there's also going to be here in Houston, it's on the Facebook, Bikers Against Child Abuse. You should check that out. You don't have to be a biker, but it's a good cause. And we cannot let the stories die. We can't let people forget what's happening. We have to continue to show our outrage, and call and harass your government, from your senators on down. Unfortunately, I live in Texas. I love harassing Ted Cruz. That one's one of my favorites. But I've got so many to choose from. Greg Abbott. They're just, but all of them, except for Cancun Cruz, A whole bunch of the rest of them are on the ballot this November. And I'm hoping, there's feelings, there's talk that Texas is gonna be flipping a lot, flipping some blues, flipping those blues. Got that blue thing. And you know, because even mega people, even some mega people have compassion. Even, I mean, and the kind of person who gets off on this shit, I mean, you gotta wonder, man, if somebody is all for this and thinks this is cool, or the death of Renee Good, which the killing bullet could have survived until that last bullet when he reached his fucking hand, point blank shot her in the head. Up till then, she could have lived. And then they wouldn't let the doctor, there was a doctor there, and they wouldn't let him give her aid. For 8 minutes, she was still alive. And they just pulled her out of her and dumped her in the snow. I mean, you have to stay peaceful, but you have to show your outrage. You have to be outraged. How can you not be outraged? I mean, do you stand? Is this what America is supposed to be? Do you think, I mean, is any of this kind of shit what you think America is about? It's not the America that my husband fought for. And right now, the rest of the world is arming against us because we've got a lunatic in the fucking White House. For the first since World War II, we are pariahs. Things can be fixed, and the people. I mean, they know that not. I mean, obviously, not all of us are wanting this shit, but it's embarrassing. I got a lot of friends overseas, and and what the fuck, man? I don't know. I do not know. I do not understand. Not one little bit. And there's everybody's, the leopard ate my face party are whining, and the faffos are faffoing. So you fucked around, and all of us are finding out how bad it can really get. So, man, keep on it, cause we got to keep bitching. We got to take our power, because we, the people, are supposed to be the ones in power. So use that power, because this has become way too normalized already. And this is not the future that I want for my kids. Is it the future you want for yours? This is not what America is supposed to be. This is not what America stands for. This is what Russia stands for. This is like living, I mean, we're living in a fucking dictatorship, and he's got armed troops roaming the streets, beating people at random. What does that sound like to you? So, yeah, sorry. We still got to try to find bridges. We've got to be able to talk to him. Stupid fucking Ted Cruz goes to Minnesota, and he doesn't talk to Walz. He doesn't talk to Frey. He doesn't talk to any Democrats. That's such a fucking high school move, man. Just, come on. Start acting like fucking adults. Do your goddamn jobs. And get those Gen 6ers parading and cosplaying as law enforcement out of the cities. Okay? DJ? Yep. That's his. Don't mess with me, look. Isn't he beautiful? He's a beautiful boy. Oh, and he's got, let me see if I can show you. He's got an extra. He's gonna bite me. Ow! See? Told you. I can't see. Yeah. That's mine. He's got an opposable thumb. Okay, let me try this again without getting bitten. Ow! Where the hell's the camera? There it is. See, he's got an extra thumb. And, like, it's an opposable thumb. Maybe, yeah. Maybe some other time, because that last bite hurt. But, we had a whole litter of six-toed babies, and Deej, Tom, Deej, Tom, Artemis, and Loki all have that opposable thumb, and Loki's is the biggest, and they can actually use it in grass. Shit, it's weird. So, again, a happy spot for you, watching my cat freaking try to gnaw my finger off. But, yeah, pray to whoever you pray to, but also, man, speak up any way you can. I mean, any way you can, and in any little, just anything you can do. And of course the big thing's gonna be vote, but, stick up for your fellow humans. Let's bring common fucking decency back. I mean, Trump says the only check on his power is his morals. That's terrifying, because he doesn't have any. So, and we need to remember how to have empathy. We need to remember how to talk to other people. I know it's hard, but we also, at the same time, can't be pussies and need to stay strong. And we need to keep fighting. And when I say fighting, I mean fighting in the ways we have been. We cannot be violent. I cannot say it enough. We cannot be violent, because then we're just like them. We don't want to be the hypocrites. Hey, they are. Hi, honey. How you doing? I was taping, and so with that, it's, I will let you go. But it's okay, you don't have to go nowhere, honey. Right. He's so camera shy. But, yeah, just, let's take care of each other. Nobody else is going to do it, so it's up to us. Let's take care of each other, okay? I love you guys. I would really like it if, I know more people kind of view than subscribe, so, take pity on me. Subscribe, or give me a thumbs up. Anything, please, I beg you. If there's anything you want to talk about, I've only ever gotten a couple of comments, so comments would be cool. And Rhonda, yes, you may comment, but she's my sister, so. But yeah, you guys take care of yourself. If you are in Minnesota, please be careful, or any other place protesting, please be careful. Make sure you have equipment, because things can go south. And make sure you've got a plan. Okay, stay safe, stay nonviolent, but they're not going to be. So, prepare for it and try to stay safe as you can. Get those med kits, and start joining your neighbors. We have to do it. Go back and listen to either the Disturbed version or the original Genesis version of Land of Destruction. Our generation is going to put it right. We promised that. So now we have to. Okay, you guys have a great rest of the day. I will speak to you later. Mwah! I love you. Please subscribe. Bye.